than 8 years of experience in technical support. And
currently you are working on which platform, like in Windows or somewhere else?
I have experience in IT help desk and mobile workstations and hybrids. My specialization is Active Directory because I worked on site as well in one company. Like in the server room, I had access to Active Directory. So this month I will get my Azure 104 certification, sir.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you don't have any
That is my
exposure for
background, sir.
Entra ID, right?
Yeah, Entra is nothing but new version of, see, Active Directory, the new name is Entra, as far as I know. So that is what it is. And yeah, that's what, sir. I've tried for other roles like network engineer, security, and didn't work. So I'm just looking for, right now I work in a help desk again, which includes IT.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go ahead, sir.
Okay, so let me introduce myself. So my name is Mahfouz Hassan, and I have more than 15-year experience in IT. Okay, and since starting, I'm working with the AD. Okay, and now since last 10 years, I'm also working for Entra ID. Okay, so as of now, I'm working with one of the MNC. Okay, and already I have worked with the TCS, SCL, NTT as well. So that is from my side. And also I trained more than 100 people in Entra ID and on-prem ID as well. So Ganesh, can we start
Yeah,
like overview?
We can start.
Okay, so I have one document. Let me share my screen. I will show you like what topics we'll cover in my class. Okay, so I have noted down all the important topics which is required for Entra ID for day-to-day routine. Okay, so let me share my screen and I will show that.
I think we have Vijayalakshmi. So Vijayalakshmi, we just not yet started the demo. Can you just brief about yourself, like years of experience and the domain you're working, and your expectations on the course?
Yeah, sure, Ganesh. Actually, currently I'm working on like firewall compliance and audit. And we have different types of project also. Kind of, so I'm working on cloud services. I'm not doing any technical here. Like I was just reviewing the request and approving those things. I'm not doing any implementation on this part. And there was another project is called third-party vendor connectivity. So what does that mean? Means like people are the third-party vendors are trying to access Comcast network. So they'll raise a request to us, and we are going to review those things, like whether it is we can permit this connection or not, whether they are a safe vendor or not. So we are going through the audits and all. Then once everything is fine, we are just create the connection between the third party vendor to our Comcast connection. Here also I'm not doing any implementation this. I'm just working on the like auditing and all.
Okay.
So what I am looking for, like my previous experience was I was part of malware analysis. I was doing whitelisting files in Komodo antivirus company. So from that company, like I wanted to be part of like SOC or any other technical thing. So when I moved to Comcast, I don't have like I here in my team I don't have much technical experience because we are doing just audit and all only, right? So I'm looking for like maybe the incident response thing. So we already had a conversation about it. So then you suggested this thing. Maybe this this is the right thing to do, I think, because in incident response also there will be a lot of advanced thing was like happening. So the one of this is Entra ID things also. So thanks to like scheduling the demo class actually.
Okay, so no problem, Vijay. So in our class, we'll cover like you don't have any exposure in background in the for Intra ID.
Okay.
So Intra ID basically we are using mostly for hybrid environment. As of now, it is getting used for hybrid environment where we have on-prem and in between we are using one of the devices which that connecting the on-prem and Intra ID. Okay, but you are right. Like most of the application is moving directly on the cloud. Okay, I think after some time, so all the application will move in the cloud, and maximum application is getting supported from the cloud. So no worries. I will like go through like how we have to integrate the application in Intra ID. How we'll create the user group, devices, all part which is important for the Intra ID. I will cover. Okay. So
Yeah, Marco sir, I just want to know, will I get the recording of this class, please?
Yes, you will. Yes, you'll be getting.
Please send in WhatsApp, okay?
Sure.
okay.
Thank you.
So I think should I start Ganesh for overview? Like
We can
I can
start.
share my screen.
Yeah, we can start. We can start.
Okay. So let me share my screen and let me know if you can see. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I have like I have prepared the one of the PPT like I'm sharing all these PPT with my all the student. Okay, so whatever I have like given the training to my for our student. So this is the topic which we'll cover in our classes. Okay, so first we will cover like what is the Intra ID. Okay, why we are using the Intra ID. So basically we are using for cloud-based identity platform, authentication, authorization, SSO, and formally we are using this Intra ID. It was named earlier. It was naming was Azure AD. Okay. Next is a why Intra ID. Why we are using the Intra ID. So these are the like things which we are like making secure our environment and centralize management. So that's why we are using the Intra ID. So we will cover the more part. Like this is the I just mention here only the important topic, but other topic is also there. Once we will start step by step all the topics, we will cover more. Okay, and next is the core component. What is the core component of this Intra ID? So this is users, group, device, and application. So the most important thing it's the application, like how we are registering the application, like on house-based application and also cloud-based application, how we will register Intra ID and how we'll configure the SSO and all that. So we will cover this part as well because this is very like important topic in Intra ID because most of the things like why we are you or moving in the cloud because most of the application is moving on the cloud and they are supporting the Intra ID for authentication and authorization. Okay, so this is a very important topic in core component. Next is for user management. Like we will cover this part why how many types we create the user in Intra ID and what is the use of them. Like there are two type account we can create like internal and external. Why we are creating the external account? What is the purpose of that account? Why we are creating? How we are sending the invitation to external account? How we can assign the permission? How we can assign the role? So everything will cover on that part as well. And next is for group management, like how many type of group we can create in Intra ID, what is the use of that particular group, what is a dynamic group, what is the access, how we can assign the access via the group to the user, right? And we have a dynamic group facilities Intra ID, like suppose we are creating the rules of in group that group. Suppose we have 100 of users and that users sharing the common common company name. Okay, so and I want to make all the employee to member of that dynamic group. So we will set the rules in the dynamic group. We will make the rules and we will set like all the user which is having the same company name that will be automatically will be part of that group. Okay, so that is a major things that is very important things in the Intra ID and in interview if you're going for an interview for Intra ID, so they can ask most question from the dynamic group as well. So I will cover each part for dynamic group when we will start our class. Next is for application management, like how many type of we have application in Entra ID and what is the use of that, like what is the use of enterprise application, what is use of app registration, how will configure the SSO configuration, how will allow the permission, how will allow the consent, like whether we want to allow the permission to user to use that particular application or not. So this is also major part for Entra ID. And next is the device, like there are many type of device joined in AD in Entra ID, like how we can join that device and why we join multiple way to join the device in Entra ID and what is the use of that. Like you can see, so four type of devices there, like Azure AD join, hybrid join, device compliance, and use in conditional access. Like we have a most important things which is covering for the security purpose. It's a conditional access. Why we are creating the conditional access? Because for the security purpose. Like suppose if we are binding one of the user and one of the group, like that the member of that group will not be allowed if they are accessing this application from outside of India or any other location. And if the device is not compliant, so that user will not able to access the application. So there are many things in the conditional access policy, like a lot of filter is there, and which we are required to set that and to make our environment safe and secure. Okay, so these are the type of devices registration. Okay, and this is a manage identity, like how we manage our identity, like we have many things for authentication, authorization in Entra ID, like how we can authenticate or authorize to user to use the Entra ID to log in the Entra ID. So that part will be also covered. So we will cover the system assigned, user assigned, and no password declared. Like we in Entra ID we have an option like the passwordless authentication as well. So we'll show that as well in more details. What is the rollback and RBAC? So like in on-prem ID, like we have an enterprise admin which is having the most power in that role, and in Entra ID, I have a global admin which is the most role. Like if you have a global admin access in Entra ID, you can do each and everything. Okay, so there is a user admin custom role. We can also create the custom role, like which role we can assign to the user, like helpdesk, and we can assign the permission to the user to that user only will be able to reset the password. Okay, so there are a lot of roles in Intra ID, and according your convenience, we can assign that role to the users. Okay, and next is the security feature. So we have a lot of security feature in Intra ID, like multi-factor authentication, conditional access, identity protection, and risk-based sign-in. Like we have risk-based sign-in facilities in Intra ID. Like if we set the conditional access policy and that policy is not matching with that user, so that user will be blocked and they will be moving the risk-based sign-in. So the access will be blocked for that user, and then we have to figure out like why the account have like blocked. So we have to work on that, and then we have to inform the user. They have to reset the password, they have to set the MFA and all that. We have monitoring as well in Intra ID, like sign-in logs, audit logs, risky users, and troubleshooting. Like sign-in logs, if a user is trying to log in any application and they are facing the issue, like they are asking like they are not able to log in. So you don't need to connect to the user. You can log in the portal of the Intra ID, and then you can check the sign-in of that user. So each and everything you can see, like what is the error and what is like the problem. The user is not able to log in. In the same, it's audit logs. Like if user want to say like I just logged in yesterday and I have what these things, so you can monitor each and everything in audit logs as well. And there is one facility for the risk user. Like as I told you earlier, if any user sign in and they are not following the complaint, that the sign in will be blocked and they will move in the as a risky users. Okay. So next is a licensing part. So we have three type of licensing in Intra. Like one is a free and P1 and P2. So most powerful is a P2 license, the premium 2, premium 1, and free. In freelancing is also available. You can for your critical, you can take the subscription free, and but the the facility of the service is not available in the free. Most of the services is available in P1 and P2. So we have a P2 license for our classes. So I will show you like what facility is there, what extra feature is covered we can cover in the P2. This is a facility which is available. This I just mentioned the important part. So as of now, so it's in free version. It's a basic feature. All the basic feature you will get free. In the P1 license, you will get the conditional access and SSPR. SSPR, it's a single sign password, is it? And this facility is used like suppose so you are working as a help desk engineer and you are getting a call from the multiple users to get reset the password. Okay, but the environment, the company doesn't want to get the call from the user to reset the password to from the service the help desk because they need more person in the help desk to receive the call of the user. So that's why Microsoft introduced the feature. It's a SSPR, that is a single sign password reset. So we can configure this feature. So user will be able to reset the password by own, and they can unlock their account. They can reset the password. So after using this SSPR feature, so you will not get the more call to reset the password from the user. Okay, so and then we will introduce the AD Connect. What is the AD Connect? AD Connect is just like a bridge which is connecting from an on-prem device to Entra ID. Okay, when we are making any changes on on-prem AD, like suppose we are creating any object like group, user, any object we are creating on the on-prem AD, so AD Connect will sync that account to the Entra ID. Okay, and same likewise we can revert, we can sync from Entra ID to on-prem ID. Okay, so I will let you know how we will do that. And the AD Connect structure is on-prem AD, sync server, Entra ID. So these three structure architect is used to establish the sync from on-prem to Entra and Entra to on-prem. And this is the AD Connect flow, like AD sync Entra ID, and we can sync the user and group, and we will show like how the sync is working, like how much time it takes to sync by default, and how many type of sync is there. Like there are two type of sync, like initial and delta syncs. Like initial sync, so if you make any changes on AD Connect, so by default, it start the initial syncs. Initial sync means like it will start the sync from the scratch, and it takes time to get sync all the data from on-prem to Entra ID. Okay, but in every 30 minutes, there is delta sync is running behind that. If you make any changes on on-prem ID, and it will take 30 minutes to get sync in your Entra ID. But there is one command, PowerShell command. If you want to sync immediate what the changes you made in the on-prem ID, and you want to sync that object immediately on the Entra IDs, then you have to option to run the command on an on-prem ID, and it will sync immediately. So this is the topic which okay, we have AD Connect feature as well, like password sync, write back, and filtering. That is also more very important part. Like the password sync is like suppose you are using the AD Connect, and the on-prem user is like syncing from on-prem to Entra ID. Okay, and if user is trying to access any cloud-based application, okay, so if you are using the password sync option, so what will we do? Your credential will not come back to on-prem ID to check that whether it is eligible to access that application or not. It will check the directly in the Entra ID only, because the Entra ID having the all the user sync password sync option. Like they have the password hash details on Entra ID, so they will not sending the request to on-prem ID because it takes time. Like if you are putting username password, it will go to the AD Connect, and AD Connect send back to the on-prem AD to check that and to validate that. So it takes time on the login process. That's why most of the company are using the password sync option. There is one more option is there, and that is the password through authentication. The password through authentication is like they are following the the long path to log in on the to application, because every time you are putting the user and password, that password is coming to the on-prem ID to validate your credential. If it is validated, then it's sending back to Entra ID, and Entra ID will allow to log in that application. Okay, so this is a separate topic which we will cover in our class, like how many type of sync is there, like what is the right password write back and device write back, how we'll set that, what is the filtering. Like suppose you have 100 of the user on on-prem AD, and you don't want to you don't want to like sync the 50 user to Entra ID. So how we can make the filter, and that filter will come and we will set from the AD connect like so. The most important part in Entra ID is the AD connect, because the interviewer question is asking a lot of questions from the AD connect. But there are 3 or 4 things in AD connect, but they are asking a lot of questions from AD connect. So we will cover each and every part. No worries. So this is the hybrid identity benefits, like how why we are using the hybrid environment. So we are using for the same login everywhere, like the from the same login you can, like if you log in on the device, so you can log in with the same credential to in each and every application. You don't need to put your credential again and again. Okay, so for central control, we can manage the centrally and for better user experience. And we have multiple authentication method in Entra ID, like as I told you, password hash, sync, and pass-through authentication and federation ADFS. So as of now, we are not using the ADFS in most of the environment, but facility is there. If you are doing the more secure your environment, so company are using the ADFS in between, like AD and Entra ID. So it will like create the one more channel to get authenticate your user secure and safe in your environment. So these are the things which we'll cover, okay, one by one. And let me show you the credential. Like I have a license of P2 on-prem Entra ID. So let me log in and I will show you like how it looks like. Any question, any comment, guys? No? Yes, no, anything?
No, Ganesh, good. I'm good.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so let me log in.
I can see one more person by the name of a Spinbot. Can you rename yourself?
PC, right?
No, no, no. Spinbot. Spinbot something.
Oh, let me. I think Ganesh, you can do that. I think
Uh,
spin boat. Who is a spin boat?
can you speak at least? You can unmute and speak.
Hey, this is Raj.
Ah,
Raj.
okay.
Just I have one question in this.
Yeah.
In licensing, how about other license? We have only P2, right? There is suit and governance. When do we use those license?
Yeah. So in Intra ID, we have 3 license like P1, P2, and free. Okay. And in P2 as well, we have like
How about the
add-on.
suit and governance?
Sorry.
How about the Microsoft suit or governance?
For the governance, like I'm telling you, like for the like few of the feature is like added in the as the add-on license. Okay, so Microsoft has introduced so the add-on license as well, so we can cover that from that license.
Okay, in EntraID Connect, what are the scenario we are covering in this?
Your voice is breaking. I'm not able to hear you properly.
In EntraID Connect hybrid environment, what are the architectural topics we are covering?
Yeah, so in Intra ID, I will cover each and every part, like how we are installing the AD Connect, okay, and how we'll configure that. Let me show you. You can see my screen.
Are
So
we covering up the metaverse, how it works and all some filtering?
exactly, yeah, everything. Say how we are doing the filtering, how we are setting the authentication path, how we are, what is the use of the metaverse, each and every part I will cover.
What is this course duration?
Uh, Ganesh, like it will be the daily class or weekend,
It will be weekdays only. We are planning.
weekdays, right?
Yes. I need to check the timings once again, but as of now, we are planning for weekdays, Monday to Friday.
Okay, so hardly I will take 1 month.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we are targeting.
Yeah. So Raj, I think you joined late. So you are working as of now as a AD or Intra ID. Like, what is your profile as of now?
AD
On
on-prem AD.
pyramid. On pyramid. Okay, so see, this is a dashboard of the Intra ID. Okay, so we have also other option to use. We can also use the Intra admin console as well. Okay, Intra admin center, and so see, this is a like how we can create the group. We can manage from here, and how we are creating the groups and device and all that. How we are creating the enterprise and app registration. How we are using the PIM service. How will configure the application proxy, how will register the enterprise application is there. So we will cover all this part. Okay. So and I will show you like let me show you this part as well. So this is a service which is running on AD Connect. When we make any changes like in AD, so it will sync through the AD Connect in Intra ID. Okay, so there are six step which is following there, like for export, two for delta, two for export, and two for sync. Like two, why it is two, like one for on-prem and for Intra ID. Okay, so we will cover all this connection, metaverse search, and how we make the filter and how we are setting the authentication path. So we will cover each and everything. No worries for that. Okay, guys, if you have any question and doubt, so let me know. So I can discuss about that.
In app registration, what are we going to cover in this?
In app registration, we are going to cover like how we are registering the enterprise application, how we are connecting the in-house application using the app registration, how we are going to install the app registration. Like suppose if you don't have the VPN connectivity, so how we can register our own develop application. Like suppose we have development team and they are developing the application. You want to configure that application, so we are using the app registration for that. Okay, so these there are two type of application is there. So we will cover enterprise and app registration and how
So
we are
we
configuring
covering.
the SSO, how we are yeah.
All right. We'll be covering with all OpenID. What type of applications can be configured?
Yeah,
SAML. What type
exactly.
of
OpenID, SAML, OAuth,
and or
everything. Yeah,
individual
everything.
application.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. And Sony, do you have any questions?
No, Ganesh.
Yes. And Vijayalakshmi?
No, Ganesh.
Yeah. I'll share this recording to you and even also others. And I'll talk to like
Yeah. Please share that first half of that. I was not able to join the late join. So let me go through once again this recording and you can connect with me later.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
We can have a personal call.
But do you provide placement support, Ganesh? Like after completing the course, will you provide placement
That
support?
we can discuss offline.
Okay.
Okay, then if you don't have any questions, then we can wrap up for now. And we can have a call maybe today or even tomorrow whenever you're free and we can discuss. And I'll let you know the start date and the timings.
Sure, Ganesh.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Sir. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for joining.